I'm good. BOSON USDT. Okay, so we're gonna chart it. This is what it looks like when I chart. So normally what I ask myself, since I've never charted this one before, okay, so I just like to get a grasp of where it's at. Is it in an uptrend? Is it in a downtrend? Um, what kind of what kind of angles are the uptrend and downtrend at? Are there wedges? Are there triangles? Right now, if you wanted to, we could instantly find, see when a price does this kind of thing when it starts, you can include that, but make it secondary. It can be something that you focus on, but I like to make it secondary because the real meat and potatoes of your security is actually, right there versus up here. But what I can do is I can make a line for that as well. And what I do is I like to change it to a dashed line. This dashed line gives me the ability to know that it's secondary. Okay, I'm then gonna make my bottom line. Let's make this solid. So actually, we have a pretty good looking triangle. Triangles are, in my opinion, going to be the most common type of symbol that you find. It's also kind of the easiest to gauge. So yeah, let's see. This is a nice looking triangle. Now, if you wanted to, you could trade it if you see a possible breakout. I'm going to leave this pattern for when I show this to one of my partners, one of my admins, and I'm just going to let him know what I personally feel about it is he could trade it inside this triangle if there were a bull or bear breakout. Like I've always shown before, you can put your alerts on the side here. In TradingView, this works just so well. So now if the price breaks to a certain point out of the triangle, it alerts me up. Let's say the same type of thing happens south, bear. Well, guess what? Now all of a sudden you have the ability to be alerted, which is super important. Okay? So we're there now. Okay? What else do we see about it? Let's take a look. So by the way, we start in the day. You start out. Remember I talked to you guys in other videos about time frame is like looking at a piece of paper. The day time frame would be further. The hour or 30-minute is going to be close, but it's all the same information. You're just looking at it from an either macro or micro point of view. That's important because I don't want you to think different time frames like necessarily mean different things. They don't. If you go closer, you're getting more data. If you go out, you get more condensed data. So it really depends on how you want to trade the scenario. But I use, like I've mentioned this before, I use the 5-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 6 hour, and day. You can see them up top. I've got them saved. For this right now, for BOSON, honestly, that's charted. I'm happy with that chart. This coin came out April of this past year, kind of when Bitcoin started to take a hit. So for right now, that's it. That's the setup. This is the kind of thing I'll take a picture of and send him later. For now, I'm going to turn off these alarms. Okay, and actually what we're going to do, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys real quick how me and one of my admins made a few extra bucks tonight. Okay, now this is real important. This is something that I'll be teaching more often. So KuCoin has an area called futures. You can bet more or less on long or short, whether you think the stock is going to go up or down. The nice thing about being a chartist is you can grab those breakouts and ride these waves so that you make really good profit off of them. So I'm going to go into my futures. I'm actually already there. Oh, actually, I put this in the wrong spot. See what you guys did? I blame this on you. Let's see. Now, all right. So what I'm going to do, this is the big list. We're going to have to add BOSON to this. BOSON. Oh, actually, it might already be there. Yeah, great. So now we're going to go back to this futures list, okay? So me and a buddy were trading this recently. Actually, tonight. Where is it? Okay, so we traded Sol. Here we go. Let's take a look at it now. I'm going to have to get way closer than that. Okay, so he found a triangle pattern, okay? He said, hey, I think Sol in the futures just broke out of a triangle pattern. I said, okay, let's go give it a look. Well, let's see what he found. This is what he found, okay? And he was right. So, since I had messed with this a little bit earlier, and of course that was the breakout, since I had messed with this earlier in the week, I knew that this was a consolidation zone. How did I know that it was consolidation zone? Because there was level and parallel support and resistance lines. So let's have a look. At the top, resistance. At the bottom, support. Bounced off support, bounced off resistance first, then support. Then it never went back up either. But what it did do is it broke out of this large triangle. The other thing it did, let's go further in, because remember, you can have patterns far out, you can have patterns close, you can have patterns on top of each other, okay? You can have multiple trend lines on top of each other, first, secondary, third. Let's see what else is in there. Watch this, because this is then what I discovered. I said, well, besides the consolidation highway we got going on, we actually have a flagpole as well. How long have I been for day? We also have a flagpole, and the time being, we had a flag. So now not only did we have like this double confirmation, so once we saw that, he told me about it. Sol is actually something that we're following right now as part of our group. So what we did is we started the trade. We waited until it broke the consolidation. Now, he was right. When he said it broke out of this triangle and he said, I think that's a breakout, I said, well, I'm only going to consider it a breakout if it leaves this consolidation, okay? That's really important. It did leave consolidation, and that's when I bought in. I think he waited. So if he would have been right, we would have actually made a few extra bucks, but that's the game, okay? Excuse me. This is what we did. And you see where it's at now. So we bought in around 180, I don't know, let's just say 180. I don't remember the specifics. We bought in around 180. I put a stop loss in, which what's nice about the KuCoin Futures is you can put a stop loss. It's really easy to do. You can also put a take profit point, okay? So what I like to do is called a stop loss slide. If price continues to go up, I cancel the old stop loss and I move the stop loss up, especially after I've already made a certain amount of money. So let's say I've got my $100 that I put down and I really just want to make 50. That's literally pretty much what I did tonight. What happens is after I made 20 bucks, I moved my stop loss up to the point where if it hit, I would still receive $20. That's like successful trading right there. I'm not losing any money. I'm not breaking even. I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm just moving my stop loss to a point where if I lose or if I lost it, then guess what? Still made money. Okay? Good stuff. So we actually got all the way up to, I think, man, I'm not going to remember back, but we got all the way up into this area. And when we started to see it fall, my stop loss hit. I made $50, and his hit, he made 100. And we were able to do that in about 10 minutes. Okay? What's nice about that is you can do that multiple times throughout the day, and you can make 100, 200, 300, 400. I mean, as long as you're doing it properly, as long as you're following a system, and this is, I'm going to be really serious when I mention this. If you're trading without a system, you're going to lose. There's no two ways about it. If you don't have at least a rough goal set out of what you're trying to accomplish when you're trading these charts, you're gambling. Okay, you're not gonna. There's gonna be a point where it's not gonna work out. So let's do one more, and then maybe we'll call it a night. I don't even know if I had anybody in the room. I don't think I did. Oh, I do have somebody in the room. Denny, what's up, man? Are you still here? Can you give insight on the flag and flagpole meaning? Yes, I can. Great question. Let's go over it. Okay, so like I mentioned before, what we're dealing with is you're dealing with finding patterns, okay? I keep this in front of me. That says chart patterns. No, it's backwards. I keep this in front of me literally the entire time I trade, okay? Why? Because in the back of this book is an entire area, okay, of patterns. I'm not perfect, okay? I'm not some learning from me. That's right, dude. So I'm not a god with this stuff. I just know how to make money with it, and by following what some of these books say. I've added a lot of my own like little twists to what I've seen can be improved on. So here we go. Enough of that. So the bottom line of that is, get some books. Get some charting books. I will teach you guys whatever you want to know with the charting. Just ask me what books you are interested in, what type of trading, bot, forex, doesn't matter. Just ask. I'll help you out, especially if you're a Conquering Crypto member. Here we go. So what is this whole flagpole and flag deal? A flag, a pennant, and a triangle are all the same thing. They all have the same principle. You're going to learn that more often when you're trading this stuff. When you see a tunnel, when you see a wedge, when you see a triangle, flag, or pennant, you're talking about the same type of structure, the same type of pattern. And so the only difference is with the flagpole is you have an area of a pump up or down that can be attributed as a flagpole. Let me give you another example right here, okay? So this would be considered a flagpole. Now this is a very messy looking triangle, okay? Actually, that's more of a tunnel. But this would be considered the flagpole, okay? This is the flag. You do not need the pole to have the flag. The pole is a nice added touch because it can help you find support and resistance if it falls down into those areas. Okay, do you understand? All right, let's see. Dude, listen, Denny, if you want any information on these books, I've got buttloads of them. If I could show you, I've got at least 8 of them staring me in the face. This is sitting right next to me. Okay. I do not mess around when it comes to having the stuff that I've been reading near me. It does make sense. Just because it's easier for me to go and reference. So like you can only read so much. Let's be honest. You can only read so much of this stuff until it's like this guy said the same thing as this guy. What the books have that are different is different reference points. If you see a pattern that you've never seen before and you want to know if it's available, one book might have it, one book might not. One book might also teach you how to trade it differently. Okay? See what I'm saying? So there's all different types of information that I keep near me because this is like proven stuff. This stuff works. These guys clearly did something. I mean, they didn't make the book out of thin air. They clearly must have had some idea what they're doing. I've been doing it for six months, and I'm literally make money. Not every single day, okay, because that would be a lie. But I make money more often than not. All right, let's go. Let's go check out another pattern. Okay, so we're dealing.